Well, thank you for joining me. We're going to do some short videos on the basics. And where we start is the leather that we use to do the tooling. The leather is a veg tan leather, either tooling leather or skirting leather. Tooling, oil tans, chromes, doesn't work. So what we're going to do in tooling veg tan, there are different types. And when I say that, other than the obvious, there are different manufacturers from Wickett and Craig, Herman Oak. You can buy, live oak from Traditions, and you could buy Tandy leather. There's a number of different leathers you can buy and where you can buy them. What we're going to talk about is just breaking down the veg tan leather a little bit. You'll find different cuts of the leather. Some are better, some are worse. The first cut that you may look at, if you're like me, is you'll see that the belly cut, it's cheaper. And you may be thinking, well, I'll just buy those since I'm learning and practicing. One of the problems with a belly cut piece of leather is the quality of it changes a lot over that strip or piece. You can run into really soft, flexible, open grain. And look at the back flesh side here. See how it's loose? And then watch this. See how spongy and this would be hard to tool because it's so spongy. Then you can come into here, which is a little better, but it's still spongy because this whole piece. Another piece of belly is this piece. You can see it's a little bit tighter grained. It doesn't have the flex. It's still flexible or, floppy. But to tool this piece wouldn't be that bad. Unlike this piece, it was real spongy. If you have a piece that is real soft, like for me, Herman Oak is a stiffer leather in general. It's a higher temper. Wickett and Craig is a softer leather. So it has a lower temper. Neither one is bad. Each one just has a slightly different characteristic. The Herman Oak I love, and I use it for stamping, for floral. But when I go to pictorial, when I'm doing a lot of spoon work, I tend to like Wickett and Craig because it responds better to me with that type of work. And this is just my opinion. Others have a different opinion. They may feel that Herman Oak is the best all around, and that's okay. We're allowed to have differences of opinion. But the biggest thing is while you're learning, try to get a better cut. Here is a belt blank. It's a better cut. It's more up on the back, you know, because on belt blanks, they don't want stretch. And stretch can make it hard with tooling because it means it's a little bit softer. The grain's a little bit open, looser. You know, this would be a real nice piece to tool if it was bigger. I have these samples. You know, see how nice that left side is and smooth? It's nice and tight. It's going to tool well. And it's going to be consistent for you. I do use bellies. I got a real good deal on them. And on a bigger piece, you know, let's say like an 8x12, I could start tooling down here and the leather would be softer and more spongy. But by the time I got up to this corner up here, it could be real firm or firmer. So I have to treat both these a little bit different when I'm tooling. You know, a little bit of a lesser moisture content here and a little bit wetter up here. And you just have to read the leather as you go. If you're just starting out, try to avoid that hassle in the beginning. Go with a piece that's consistent throughout. That way, you're not having more than one variable that you're dealing with. Buy from a reputable group, whether you buy Herman Oak, Wickett and Craig, Live Oak, or these other brands, Tandy. Work with a leather. And I like to get a big enough piece where I can start learning that leather of what it likes. Because if you just buy small pieces and go from different brands, and there's a difference even from hide to hide in a little bit. So when you're learning, go with a better cut of leather. Try to stay with the same brand of leather so that you have a little bit of consistency. Once you get better, then, you know, you can have your scrap box and just, if you have a small project, you reach in, you pull out a piece that'll work. And if you have different types, brands, it won't matter to you. You'll be able to pick it up, case it, and just start tooling. That was our first video on leather. One thing I do want to mention too is the differences in thickness. Because for me, I prefer a thicker piece of leather. Okay. I do prefer a thicker piece of leather. You can get these type of gauges from Tandy and other places. This happens to be from Traditions. And it's a real handy piece of tool to let me know. This piece, if you take it and you come down, see how it's, when it comes through here, it's kind of loose. You come up, push it in, it's a little bit of a slip fit. See how that one I have to really push hard? That's not the one. This here is a 6 or 7 ounce piece of leather because it just a little bit of friction going in and out. Won't go here, here, you've got slop. 6 or 7 ounce works real good. It's a good all-around piece of leather. The belts, again, loose. A slip fit. And then it doesn't go in on this one. So this is a 9 or 10 ounce piece of leather. Belts, they're great for tooling. You know, this piece is an 8 to 9 ounce. And I prefer, for an art piece, to tool on a thicker piece of leather. I don't do a lot of embossing, so that's why I prefer the thicker pieces. If I'm embossing, yes, I will go down to a thinner piece. But that's not the rule for me. I find that the thicker pieces, they allow me to learn the stamps a little bit better. They're a little bit more forgiving in the cut for me. I just prefer thicker cuts for artistic tooling. Wallets, 3-4 ounce, works real good. People have tooled all the way down to 2-3 ounce and it comes out beautiful. But when you start getting down to that thin leather, you've got to have a real good technique so that it comes out looking good. I hope this was helpful for you to give you just a high overview of leather. Thank you for joining me. Have a blessed day and happy tooling.